Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football, talking up Tennessee with Wes Rucker, Go Vols 247. Please like these videos. It helps build the channel. Subscribe here, hit that bell for the notifications. That way you know when we're going live, and share the videos out there on social media as well. So the game against Arkansas, one of those typical tale of two halves, 13-0 up, gave up 24 straight and lose it by 11 on the road. And the quarterback situation continues to be in flux, whether it be based on injuries or so forth. The numbers are pretty pedestrian to be kind, ugly to be maybe a little bit forthright. 2 interceptions total, 11 of 21, 107 yards. Maybe would have been a decent game in 1960, not 2020.
Correct. I think you saw a couple things again on Saturday. You saw one that right now, as much as anyone or several fans of the program don't want to admit this, Jared Garantano is giving Tennessee its best chance to win games right now. But the question is that good enough? And why has there been no development behind him in some cases? Now with Bailey, you understand that, right? He's a kid who he's a freshman who had some time out with COVID in camp, and he's not had a lot of time. So I don't want to say you give him a free pass, but you understand that. But when you get to Brian Maurer, and then you get to guys like JT Shroud, who didn't even make the trip, you wonder, just kind of what's been amiss there with the development. But I do think, I'll say this, Tennessee's plan A for Arkansas was the right plan A for how you attack that Arkansas team. Arkansas, we talked about this before the game, Arkansas creates a lot of turnovers on the back end, picks off a lot of passes, but it does not stop the run at all. So what do? Especially if you're a team who turns it over a lot, you throw a lot of picks, you hand it off a lot. That's what you do. That's how you give your team the best chance to win the game. And that was working. They ran it right down Arkansas's throat in the first half. Of course, it should have been 21-0, and it was 13-0. Had a Trey Smith, of all people, I believe, had a holding penalty. And then you had Jared Garantano, who undershot an open receiver by about a foot or so. It would have been a touchdown in the back of the end zone. Those turned into field goals. Now it should be 21-0. It's 13-0. And then in the second half, just Arkansas made a couple of little adjustments. It took away some of Tennessee's run stuff.
Back to this quarterback situation, Harrison Bailey would appear to be the guy that most people are excited about being the future. If you just look at your own 247 Sports composite rankings,
sure.
Third-rated pro-style quarterback, JT Shroud at number 26. Is he the guy that's getting the buzz, the guy that everyone wants to see get the chance?
There's no question. And I've seen this because I've covered enough mediocre college football or struggling college football at this point to know that for sure that the guy, whatever quarterback on the team has had the fewest chances to make mistakes, is always the most popular guy. And it's because, would he screw up? Maybe, but you don't know that. The other guys have. You don't know that he has. So he's the most popular guy, right? He's the most popular guy on campus. Everybody wants to, get him a free Pepsi here and there. You know what I mean? Like he's a popular guy, and so I think that's something that they need to they need to be careful with, though, because I don't know that he's ready. And Jeremy Pruitt got a lot of flack for this comment, and to be candid, I don't think he should have made it, even though I understand it. He said that he wanted to be careful with Bailey because he didn't want to bring him along too fast and actually stunt his development by, kind of getting his confidence and physically just getting him wrecked. And he said that if you want to see how that can happen, look at Jared Garantano. Was a guy who was the number one dual threat quarterback prospect in the country coming to Tennessee in the composite we have there at 24/7 Sports. And he was a guy who redshirted 1 year, but then he got thrown into a situation where Tennessee just was not good. And he got his bell rung. He got beat up. Fans got on him. People started questioning him. People started calling him a bust. And he can act like that stuff's not bothering him, but I find that hard to believe. And so Jeremy Pruitt said, I don't want to do that to Harrison Bailey. I'm trying to build a program for the future here also. And I want to win now, but I'm trying to build for the future. And I don't want to do that. Now, should he have said that publicly? Probably not. But I don't know that it's wrong. It's not the kind of thing you want to say publicly. It's not wrong, I don't think. I think you got to be careful with that. If he's ready to play, or more importantly, if he gives you the best chance to win right now, do you play him? Probably. But if he doesn't, you don't. And that's where Tennessee's got to reach this point where this is not a normal senior year, or this is not a normal year in college football. Normally, you would say, well, you're 2-4, pack it in, start playing some of these young guys. Maybe you get to a bowl game, maybe you don't. They'll take some lumps and you'll move forward. Well, seniors can come back next year across the country if they want to. If they want to. Now, there are some people who were surprised Gary Tennant wanted to come back even this year to Tennessee. But, you know, what do you want to come back? I don't know. But if you're Tennessee, you got to be careful about that, because if Pruitt and these guys don't get turned around this year, it is all hands on deck next season, or they're in trouble. And so they got to win games. And so it's a tough situation to be in. It really is. Now it's a situation by many ways of their own doing, because they've been the coaches now for 3 years. They've had chances to develop these guys. I'm not going to sit here and cry for them, but, you know, I mean, it's the reality of the situation. This is your third year, and some of these guys are out there and they're making mistakes, and you have to figure out if you're okay with that or if you're not.
There was such a good feel surrounding this program because of the way it concluded in 2019 and another strong recruiting class coming into 2020. There were people out there that were actually touting this team as a potential SEC Eastern Division champion. Not myself.
Me, but others were.
Exactly. I'm going to take myself out of that mix too. I thought that was a little bit crazy talk, a little bit out there. But at the same time, I did say the two most intriguing teams in the country to me coming into this year were North Carolina and Tennessee. I just wanted to see if they could continue on the ascent